Okay, fine. So yesterday I've shared the class link material and the softwares. Okay, so did you guys able to install?
Yes, I have installed it.
Installed. You have installed, right?
Yes.
Okay. And anyone having any questions, doubts?
Yeah, Bhaskar, I have just downloaded that software and material. So in
Okay.
weekend I will install it.
Yeah, please install and please start
So
working.
is there any instruction? Is there any complex to install the Oracle? Because
No,
before I
no, there is nothing. There is nothing in complex. Let me share my screen. I'll just quickly show you. Okay, so what will be there and what we should install. Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Bhaskar, it is visible.
Okay, I think this is for everyone. So few people are already installed and a few people might not install. Okay, so I think if you see my screen, where is that? Yes. Yeah, I have given access to this Oracle folder. Okay, so inside this Oracle folder, you'll be having SQL Developer and Oracle for Win7. Okay, so Oracle for Win7, this you have to extract, and this is also you have to extract. When you extract this Oracle for Win7, you'll be having only one exe file. Okay, there will be only one installation file will be there. Just double click on the file, click on next, next, next. You'll be asking for a password. So that password you have to mention admin, ADMIN in small letters. Confirm password also, it's the same. Small letters admin, ADMIN. Then click continue. It will get installed. Okay, there is no complex in it. And once after that you install, then you'll be able to open run command line. Okay, and SQL developer also you can extract it. For SQL developer, you don't need any installation. Okay, you just need to extract, that's it. It'll automatically work. Okay, if anybody did not have the WinRAR software to extract the files, you can download this WinRAR software and you can first install it, and then you can use this WinRAR software to extract these zip files.
okay.
Yeah, this is how we have. I think, and for everyone, I have given access for materials and videos both folders. I think for SLK batch 18, I've given access, and inside the material where we have this SLK running material, and inside these videos, I'll be keep adding the videos. And one more one request from my end is please at any point in time, please don't share these videos to anyone. Okay, so these videos are strictly confidential. Okay, so but people can get in YouTube many videos, but I have very bad experience of my videos shared to the people, and they told that they learned from me and they came to me for help. Okay, I had a bad experience about my videos. Okay, so I request since this batch I know everybody right personally, so I'm just telling everyone don't share these videos to him. So if I feel like if these videos have been shared, then I'll restrict to not to download these videos so that you cannot download. You can always see the videos. and the interview questions document I'll be giving at the end. So yesterday we have seen what is SQL, right? How do we insert a record, what is commit, and how do we select the data, right? So today we'll be continuing with the other SQL types. Okay, let me run SQL command line. Actually, right, if you use SQL command line, then you can remember the syntaxes properly. Stop using SQL developer. Okay, fine. So now let me connect. Yesterday I've created one table called employee, right? Select star from employee. Select star. What is the meaning of star?
Select all from the employee.
All column.
All columns from the table. Okay, now I have this table. So now yesterday we have seen how do we insert a record and how do we select the record. Now, if at all we wanted to update any record manually, okay, how do we do that? How to update a record? So syntax is same. We just need to use update, table name, state, which column we have to update. Let's say I wanted to update EMP LOC column, employee location to DLR. Okay, now then there are two options for update here. We can give condition. We can if at all we wanted to update the same value to all the records in the table, then we don't need to give any condition. If at all we wanted to update the specific record, we have to use where condition, where
by
employee
equal
equal to 1. So that means I'm giving an explicit condition, and this is kind of an instruction to the update statement that first don't update the same value to all the records, just update only for the few records where these conditions satisfies. So for which all the records where this condition satisfies, for those records only just update it. One row is updated. Now again when I do select star from table, say earlier it was with Bangalore, now it is updated with DLR. Okay, now just to show the other scenario also, let me insert one more record. Insert into employee. List 2. Okay, one more row I inserted, and let me commit it. Let the transaction be permanent in the database. Now let me put select star from table. I have 2 records. Now when I do an update, let me not give the condition, and this value also let me change to Pune. So now in the update statement, I'm not giving any condition. So in the first example, I have given the condition. So when we give a condition, it will update to the records which are all satisfying this condition. Okay. So if at all we are not going to give any condition, okay, then it's going to update all the records. The 2 rows updated. Now when I put select star from table, it will be updated with all the records. So this is the advantage of commit will come here. Okay. So instead of updating for few records, so by mistake accidentally we pressed enter. Accidentally we executed this update statement. So that data will be get updated to all the data. Let's say we have here 2 or 3 records, but in real time, if you see, there will be hundreds of records, right? There will be hundreds or thousands or millions of data will be there. If the millions of data is getting updated, then it will be very difficult for us to revert the changes back. Okay, so that is the reason we can have a rollback option. We can do a rollback here because I did a mistake. So I wanted to revert the changes back. And I put a rollback complete. Start from table, say it came to the old state. So that is the reason why for all the DML operation, either we have to pass commit or a rollback. Without passing commit or rollback, the changes will not get updated. They are updated to the database permanently in the database. Guys, can someone go on mute? Fresh. Fresh, can you go on mute? So this is how we are going to update the data. And these are the two examples for the updation and how commit and rollback are going to be used when we are going to do a update DML operation. And yesterday I've showed insert record into the table, right? For example, insert also we have one more example where if at all I wanted to update only specific columns, I have 3 columns here. Okay, but I don't want I don't want the values to be inserted for all the columns. I wanted to insert only for 2 columns. Okay, then how do we insert record to a specific columns? Syntax insert into table name, and you have to specify for which columns that you have to update employee ID, comma employee name. Specify the columns next to the table name, and in the values you have to give for employee ID, let's say number 3, and for employee name I can say name. Okay, so now one more row is inserted, and if you see the table, so the columns which are specified in the insert statement for only those 2 columns where the values are there, and for the column which is not mentioned here, this column is not mentioned here, so because of that it is having null value. Okay, so this kind of a scenario also we will be getting in real time. So how do we, let's say there are 50 columns in a table, and for testing purpose we are inserting few records. When we are inserting few records, like we wanted to insert only for few columns, we don't need to insert for all the columns. So in that case, we can specify the column names for which all the columns where we have to insert, and specify the values for those corresponding columns only. And in the later if at all we wanted to have the value for this one, then what we should do?
Update.
We have to update. So update table name state employee location equal to let's say Hyderabad, and if I don't give a condition, it will update for all the data, right? So back PMPID equal to
3.
0 rows updated. Yeah, because when I insert this record, after I insert, I did not pass any commit here. Immediate after that, I have updated. I did an updation, right? After the update, I did a rollback. Because of that, this insert and update, both the DML operations went off. It will go to the previous commit. Let me insert now. Let me commit now. Now, let me update. See, one row is updated now. Me also commit first. See, that is the reason. So whenever we are working with DML operation, we should be very much careful about the commit and rollbacks. The values updated. See, earlier we did not have the value. Now it is created. Any doubts for insert and update?
No, Bhaskar.
No, Bhaskar, it's clear.
So next, delete. So how do we delete data from a table? So we have to use delete from table. Okay, so when we use delete from table, it will delete all the data. Or if at all we wanted to delete any specific records, you have to use where condition. First, let me delete all the data. All 3 records got deleted. See now, no row selected. So if at all accidentally we delete all the data, so it will be very difficult for us to retrieve it back. Since delete is a DML operation, we have a flexibility to roll back the changes. Roll back completed. Now when I put select star from table, I got the data. Okay, now if at all we wanted to delete specific record, delete from employee, you have to give a where condition, where employee equal to 3. See one row is deleted. Now I'm passing commit here. Select star from I have only 2 records. Now when I roll back, it will not do anything because I have already passed the commit. Okay, so delete command is going to be used to delete this, to delete all the data from a table or specific data from a table. Delete all the data from a table or specific data from a table. When we wanted to delete the specific data, we have to use a where condition. When we have to delete all the data, we can just write delete from table name. Since delete is a DML operation, we have to pass commit. Okay. Now, if you see here, so create is we have created a table, insert, update, delete, select, commit, rollback. So all these are completed. Now truncate. Okay, so truncate is a TDL command. So truncate is to delete the entire table data with a single statement. It is equivalent to delete from table name. But truncate is a DML operation. We cannot revert the changes back. So whatever we do delete from table name, the same thing is going to happen when we do a truncate also. But the difference is when we do a delete from table name, since it is a delete is a DML operation, we can get the data back by using a rollback, or we have to pass explicit commit to make the changes permanently in the database. But truncate is a DML operation, we cannot get the data back. Truncate table, employee. The table is truncated. Now when I put select star from table, no row selected, and even when I put rollback, I won't get the data because truncate is a DDL command. So for any DDL operation or for any command which is part of DDL, they will be having implicit commit, so that as soon as that operation is completed, the commit will be automatically passed. Okay, that we'll call it as an implicit commit. For all the DML operations, we have to pass explicit commit. So we have to manually give an instruction to the database that whether this particular DML operation, whatever we did, that has to be permanently stored in the database or not. Okay. Now, once we do, so that is the reason why we should be very much careful in real time when we are doing delete or truncate. We should be double careful when we are doing a truncate. Okay, at least when we do a delete, accidentally if we delete the data, And if we did not pass any commit, at least we can do a rollback so that we can get the data back. But in case of truncate, we cannot get the data back. Okay, that means we should be double careful when we are doing the truncations. Any question?
Oh, no.
No, Bhaskar. I-
No, sir.
Next is drop. So drop is to drop the data. Sorry, drop the object. So any object in the database, if you wanted to drop, we are going to use the drop. Drop table name. Table will be dropped. That means when we do a truncate, the table structure will be remains there, and only the data will be get truncated. But when it comes to drop, it is going to drop the entire object from the database. Now, when I put select star from table, we'll be getting an error. Table argue does not exist. Means, so drop is the command which is going to drop the entire object from the database.
Means truncate and delete. Will delete that entire rows.
Data.
Okay. Yeah, and
Yeah.
drop means complete structure will delete. Object will delete.
Complete object will be get deleted.
Okay.
At least for truncate and delete, will be having structure will be there. Only the data rows will be get deleted. But in case of drop, all the object will be get entire object will be get dropped. Whether it is having data, does not have data, doesn't matter. The object will be get dropped. So this is one of the frequent interview question. For every interview question, this is one of the common question. What is the difference between truncate, delete, and drop? So we have to explain each of the steps. So next is alter. Now let me recreate the table again. Create table name. Table is created. Now let me insert the records into the table. And let me pass. Commit here now. When I put select star from table, I will get the data because I've created a table, inserted the record, and I passed the commit, and I got the data here. So, I'm sorry. So now alter. Okay. So alter is a command that we are going to use it to change the structure of a table. To change the structure of a table. Because till now we have seen how do we insert the record, how do we update the record, how do we delete the records, right? If at all we wanted to, because with that we did not touch the structure. Like what of the structure that we used when we create the table. So like we were playing with the same structure. If at all we wanted to remove any column from the table, or if at all we wanted to add any column to the table, how do we do that? Because in real time it is quite regular there. So tables will be like new columns will be coming to the new tables. Okay, new columns will be coming to the existing tables. So that time we might need to alter the tables. Okay, we might need to add those columns and populate the data using IHCS. So when we as a developer, like people will tell us that first you can add. Now, when we wanted to add any column, now we should know how do we add the column? How do we alter the table? Okay, alter the table is to add the column, drop the column, increase the precision, decrease the precision. Okay, rename the column. All these options are there for the okay. Now let me add a new column. Alter table. Table name is employee. Add column. This is the common syntax. Even in real time, also it's the same syntax. Now I wanted to add mobile number. Mobile number. It's the number of 10. See, the table is altered. Add column name. Add column name and the corresponding data type. Now when I put select star from table, where this mobile number field is added. Okay. So this is how we have to add a column. Now if at all we wanted to drop any column, again we have to use alter table line dot column mobile number. Now the table is altered. Let's start from table. This column is not there. Okay. Since alter is a DDL command, so we don't need to pass any comment. Okay. So this is how we can add the column. So when we are adding the column, like all the fields will be having empty values, null values. All the records will be having null values. When we have null values, what we should do? When we wanted to get the data, we have to update.
Delete it.
Yeah, we have to update the values to the existing records. It is done, truncate is done, drop is done, alter, alter table is done. Okay. So increase or decrease the precisions. Okay. Alter table name, modify, increase the precision. Sorry, increase or decrease. When we have to decrease the precision, the column should be having empty value. If it is having any value, then it won't. Alter table name, file, employee location. The table is altered. When I put select star from employee, see earlier there was only 10 lines was coming. Now there are 20 lines are coming. This is the difference that you can see here. Right? Earlier there are 10 icons are there here, 20 icons are there now. Because I have increased the precision from 10 to 20. Because when I create the table for employee location, when I create the table, I've given a 10. Now I've given 20.
Bhaskar, you told that employee location should have empty net. We have
No,
some.
for decrease the precision. For decrease the precision. Now
Okay.
I have increased the precision from 10 to I made it 20.
Okay.
So for increase the precision, we don't need. For decrease the precision, let's say I wanted to alter this to 7. So still it is decreased because let's say if I do 5, it will throw an error. It cannot decrease it, we cannot decrease the length because the values are more in length. There are few records are having more in length. So usually in real time, right? So we cannot identify which is the max length, right? So that is the reason what we do. First, we'll make the column empty and decrease the position. Okay. And one more thing is this is in Oracle 10G. Now we have the latest version is 19C. Okay, the Oracle latest version is 19C. Okay, the syntaxes, everything is same only. So there is no difference in the syntaxes, but additional features are added for a admin perspective. But so this is one of the syntax where we have to make the column empty, then only we'll be able to decrease the precision. But 99.99% this scenario will never come. Decrease the precision scenario will never come. Increase the length will be coming up, but decrease the precision will never come. Okay.
Okay, Bhaskar. Yeah.
Now it is there are only 7 hyphens because then now I made the length as 7 because it is having 7 characters as max. But here it was 20. Here it was 10. So this is how we're going to alter and rename the column name also. We can rename the column. Enter table name, rename employee location to employee address. Rename column, which column name to which column you have to do. So earlier it was with employee location. Now the column name is renamed to employee name. Sorry, employee address. Right. But when we are going to rename also, we should be very much careful. Okay, because these columns will be used in ISES, and when we change the column name in the database, and the same changes that we need to those needs to be reflected into the ISES also. If not, it is going to be a problem. So that is the reason when we are going to rename any column to a table, we should be very much careful where and all this table is being used, and in which all the jobs where we are using this table, and are we using this column in those tables or not. That we need to do a root cause, so that we need to do a analysis. Post that, we have to rename the column name. We should not, whoever is going to tell, we should not blindly rename the column name. We have to see the dependencies. If at all there are no dependencies, then we can rename the column. So this is very much careful in real time when you are doing this operation. Okay. So the next is rename the table. Rename. I have an employee table. I wanted to rename it to employee. Now when I put select star from employee, I won't get any table because it will throw an error stating that table or view does not exist. Right. Now when I put EMP, I'll be getting the data because I have renamed the table. See, this alter and rename both are DDL comments, so we don't need to pass any explicit comment here. Okay. Any questions? Anyone have any questions, doubts here before I go to the next concept?
No.
Yeah, commit and rollback also explain. So these DCL ones, like it will be grant and revoke. So it is just kind of giving permissions and revoking the permissions. It is majorly, it is an admin activity, so we don't need to worry much about it. Okay, so with this, we completed all the SQL types. Now we should be able to create the table, update the table, sorry, create the table, insert record, update record, delete record, and other truncate, rename, alter, and what are the different options are there for each of them. Okay, that I have explained, right? Next concept is synonym. Okay, synonym is also one of the rarest concept that we are going to use it in real time. But yeah, so that is something we should know that. Okay, so before I explain with the synonym, okay, let's say there is one more concept of how do we access a table from a different schema, like in a database where we'll be having multiple schemas. Okay, when we go to real time, so there also we'll be having multiple schemas, like staging is one schema, data mart is one schema, like that there will be different schemas. Now, when how are we going to access a table from one schema to the another schema? How are we going to access? So what we should do, first let me just rename this, I'm renaming this EMP to EMP underscore SLK18. Okay, I'll tell you why. Okay, SLK18, I have renamed it. Now what I'll do, so this EMP underscore SLK18 table is there under SLK18 schema, right? Now let me connect to a system schema. Let me connect to a system schema. Now, when I put select star from SLK EMP underscore SLK18, it will throw an error stating that tabular view does not exist. Now, if at all, now because I am in system schema, right? Let me show the user show. Now I'm in a system user, but this SLK18 table is there in SLK18 schema or user. Now from the system user, I wanted to access SLK18. How are we going to do that? Is we have to prefix the schema name SLK18 dot table name. So that what this select statement will do, it will go to this, it will connect to this schema and it will look for this table if this table is there in the SLK18 schema or not. It is fetching the data. Okay. So how do we access a table from another schema? We have to prefix the schema name. Okay. So this is the reason where in real time, whenever we writing is select statement, always advisable to prefix the schema name. This is something that we should habituate. So even though table is there in the same schema also, it is advisable to prefix the schema name. Okay, let's say here we have, let's start from employee. Okay, I have an employee table here in system user. Okay, so instead of writing select star from employee, it is advisable to go with system.employee. It is going to give the same result, but it is a very good advice to follow the schema names or to prefix the schema names to the table names so that we can clearly identify, because in real time when we see, right, the tables will be having like in one SQL will be having multiple tables and multiple joins will be there. Okay, now this table is present in which schema? How do we identify this? With the prefix the schema name. So it is always advisable to prefix the schema name to the table, be it in the same schema or be the table with the another schema. If it is another schema, definitely we have to prefix it. Then only we'll be able to see the data. But if it is the same schema, we don't need it. But still, if you prefix that schema name, it will be good. Now there will be a situation. There will be a situation in real time that if you know the schema name, then we can prefix the schema name to the table name. But there will be a situation where we are going to deal with the financial related accounts, financial related projects, let's say banking projects or any financial related projects. The data inside the tables will be very much confidential, right? Because when we are going to work for a bank, let's say I'm going to work for a HDFC bank, all the customers information, everything will be there in the backend database tables. And I am working for a different process. I'm using those tables for a different process. Now, when we are going to know all the schemas in the database, then it will be easy for me to connect to those schemas and access all the tables. If we do something in the backend, then it will be a problem to the customer, right? So that is the reason what they'll do. Instead of giving the schema name directly to us, they will create a synonym and they will give a synonym name to this. Okay, what they'll do, they'll create a synonym. Create synonym is emp underscore slk80 for slk80 dot. So now I wanted to access this emp underscore slk18 table, which is there in slk80 schema. But I don't have access to this schema. I don't have access to this schema, but still I wanted to use it. So for that purpose, what they'll do, they'll create a synonym in system schema. Now I connected to system user. I connected to system user. From system user, if at all I wanted to connect to SLK18 schema, first thing is I have to prefix a schema name. But the customer, they don't want to disclose this schema name. So for that, what they're going to do is they'll create a synonym to us for slk18 dot emp underscore slk18. Now the synonym is created. Okay, so earlier when I put select star from emp, it was throwing an error stating that tabular view does not exist. But when I put select star from emp now, I will be getting the data. How it is getting the data? So in the back end, this select statement is getting replaced like this. This select statement will become like this because emp is a synonym. For this synonym, say whenever we put select star from any object, it will look for is there any table with this name or not? Is there any view with this name or not? Or is there any synonym with this name or not? It will look for all possible options. And if at all any option is going to get matched, then accordingly it is going to display the data. Now here, I have created a synonym for synonym name is emp for this one. Let's say there is no hard rule that we should give the same table name as synonym name. There is no hard rule because in order to hide their in order to maintain this table names on the table names on the schema names confidentially, they will be creating like this. Okay. Now, when they say that, boss, when you wanted to access these particular columns, then use this particular table. Okay. So it might not be a table, it will be a synonym. And for that synonym, it will be prefixed with the schema name dot table name. Okay. So this is indirect way of accessing a table from one schema to the other schema. So when you wanted to access a table from one schema to another schema, either you have to prefix the schema name or we have to have a synonym to be created on top of the table. Any question in the concept of synonym? So please, if you don't understand, please let me know. I don't have any problem to explain once again, but I just wanted the concept to be cleared for everyone.
Bhaskar, can you explain once more synonym because I'm confusing here. Just one example.
Okay, no problem. say this is, let's say this is one database, and this database is having, this is one user or one schema. This is another user, another schema. Okay. And this is, let's say, SLK 18 schema. And this is system schema. Okay. We have two different schemas. Here I have a table. Let's say I have an employee table. Let's assume that. Okay, I have an employee table here. Now I connected to this schema, this user, but I wanted to access from this user. How do I should do? I have to prefix the schema name. The concept is very simple. I have to prefix the schema name. So whenever we wanted to access a table from a different schema, we have to prefix the schema in which this table is present.
Yeah.
This part is clear?
This part is clear. This is okay.
Okay, now, so instead of directly prefixing the schema names to the table name, there is another option of creating a synonym. Okay, so what this synonym is going to do in the backend, it is going to replace the table name like this. Okay, why this synonym concept is required is because when a customer wanted to maintain confidentially, whenever customer wanted to maintain their schema name and the table names confidentially, the customer only will create a synonym with some name, and they'll give the synonym name to us. Okay, so whenever we execute select star from a synonym, in the backend it is going to replace like this.
Okay, for only confidential purpose we use the synonym, right?
Yes, it is only for confidential purpose.
Okay.
And to hide the schema name and the original table name. See, actually here if you see, original table name is emp underscore SLK18, but the synonym is emp. But when we put select star from emp, we are getting the data. So that means emp is not a table which does not have any data, which is not going to store any data. In the backend, it is going to replace the value like this. So this select statement will execute like this.
Okay. Now it is clear.
Okay, this select statement will be executing like this, so that this result and the other emp result will be same. Because when we execute directly synonym name, will be equivalent to this.
Yeah. Now it is clear.
Others?
Understood, sir.
It's clear.
I think, yeah, this is enough for today. Okay.
Okay, Master.
So because no, this did not practice, right? So this is enough for today. And tomorrow I will be having conditional selections and operators. And here also we have completed the where class, right? So where class we have used in the delete statement or update statement. We are using where class. Okay. Anyway, I'll explain tomorrow. And yeah, since today is the weekend, right? I request everyone to install and practice and complete.
Yeah, Master.
Yeah, sure.